So that's why Giant, for me, is going to make number 7 on the list. Next up on the list is Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon's a card that you never hear people screaming needs a nerf or it's OP, but it's always been viable, especially since they introduced the Tornado to the game, which synergizes amazingly well with the Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon's always had a home in Golem decks, being so unique, being the only card in the game that is air and also provides a lot of splash damage and also a decent amount of HP. It doesn't die to the fireball and the poison and the zap of the opponent. It actually is pretty robust. And now with the Tornado, it fits in the rebirth of the Splash Yard decks. It fits in minor control decks and Lava Hound decks. The Baby Dragon is an underrated card, and it's also a very safe bet to continue being meta in the future. Coming in at number 5 is Musketeer and Three Musketeers. Musketeer has been a tried and true 4-elixir air targeting support card since day one of this game, and things have never really changed. Would you believe me if I told you that Musketeer has never received a nerf, guys? Even with the introduction of many other cards, Musketeer still finds her way to do her thing defensively and of course offensively as a support card in a variety of different decks. You'd have to go back all the way to 2016 to find the last time either Three Musketeers or Musketeer was nerfed in the game, and that was only with elixir reduction and also stat reduction. So Three Musketeers used to be 10 elixir and Musketeer used to be 5 elixir, so they had to reduce the stats to change the elixir cost. But really, these cards are super powerful. Even Three Musketeers is a win condition. When they add cards where people initially think, ooh, this might be an issue for Three Musketeer users, somehow Three Musketeer players are able to adapt. For example, Royal Recruits, they were able to add it to the Three Musketeer decks to make them even stronger, rather than just looking at the Recruits as a powerful counter to the Three Musketeers when played at the bridge. So that's why Three Musketeers and Musketeer come in at number 5 on the list. Let's check out number 4. Number 4 is going to be Golem, the big daddy of all tanks in the game. It has the most HP, it has the death damage, it has 2 Golemites, and they have the death damage. It's always been an absolute powerhouse and a staple of the heaviest beatdown decks in the game. I can't really remember them ever nerfing Golem. I'm sure they have, but Golem just seems to always be viable no matter the meta. A lot of people kind of look down on Golem, saying that it's the lowest skill cap card in the game or the lowest skill cap deck in the game, but there's no doubt about it. Just like every other deck, while it might be a little bit easier to pick up and learn, there's definitely an element of skill and strategy that goes into improving your game using the card. I think that Golem still remains the best big tank to invest in the game, even more so than Giant. A little bit more difficult to upgrade because it's an epic, but that shouldn't stop you from investing in the Golem, as I don't think he'll be going anywhere anytime soon. That's why he comes in at number 4 on the list. Coming in at number 3 on the list is another 2-card entry here. It's Skeletons and Ice Spirit. I wanted to group them together because they're the only 2 1-elixir cards in the game. That makes them the best cycle cards in the entire game, and they have a home in many different decks. They're unique enough that you can put them together and make a super fast cycle deck, such as 2.6 Hog Cycle or a minor cycle deck. Now, Skeletons do a great job at kiting and cycling, and they even put out a decent amount of DPS for a 1-elixir card. Sometimes you can even bait out a zap if you place them, say, on a Giant of the opponent. And Ice Spirit is a great card for 1-elixir. It can stun and do damage to even air cards, and if the cards are all grouped up together in one small confined space, it can do that AoE damage, stunning everything in the lane. So that's why these 2 cycle cards come in at number 3 on our list. Number 2 might surprise some of you guys, but I feel pretty strongly about the card, and it's Mega Minion. Mega Minion has always been one of the best support cards in the game ever since the day it was introduced, in my opinion, and despite a few nerfs here and there, it remains one of the best, especially in beatdown decks. A giant Mega Minion combo or a Golem Mega Minion combo or a Lava Hound Mega Minion combo has always been a staple of beatdown, and that's not just beatdown. It fits in some minor decks, it fits in all kinds of decks, it even fits into siege decks in a big way. Expo usually runs Mega Minion as well. So Mega Minion is just so strong. It's an air card that can chop down tanks relatively quickly. It's air, so it's difficult to target and destroy from the opponent's perspective, and it doesn't die to Fireball. What a versatile and value card the Mega Minion is, and I really can't see that changing anytime in the future. A card that's always been viable, and I hope it will continue to always be moving forward. And number 1 on our list is going to be the Miner. Miner is such an incredible, versatile card that really has always been meta ever since the day it was introduced. It's one of the strongest, if not the strongest, legendary card when you just think about the unique skill set that it has. It has the ability to go anywhere on the opponent's side of the arena. Now, 2+ years ago, when the Miner was introduced to the game, it blew our minds that Supercell was adding this mechanic and this dynamic into the game, but now we kind of take it for granted, I feel. I think that they ought to come out with more cards like the Miner because it's so unique and it's so cool, and it opens up new doors of strategy and tactics into the game that weren't previously there. The Miner is also a super versatile card when it comes to the type of decks that it fits in. It can be a win condition all on its own. It can be in a Lava Hound deck, in a Giant deck, in a Golem deck I'm even seeing it in. It can be in a control deck. It can be a second win condition with a Hog Rider, a second win condition with a Mortar card. Miner really fits in almost every single archetype, and it's a win condition on its own, and it can punish pumps. Think about it in 3 Musketeer decks. The Miner for 3 Elixir is definitely one of the most nerf-proofs, the most nerf-proof card in the game, in my opinion, and they really haven't nerfed it in the past. I don't see them doing it in the future. Miner is a super strong and safe card to invest in, no matter what archetype is your favorite in the game. I think Miner will have a good home in your deck or in your card collection. So that's it, guys. That's my list. What cards did I forget? Which cards do you think ought to have been in the top 10? And if you're going to tell me which cards I forgot, make sure you tell me which cards you would take off and replace it with your suggestions in the comments below. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell if you like the content. I do opinion pieces and list videos like this, along with pro tips and other fun series. Check out my YouTube partner, Bren Chong, in the show notes below as well. He does giveaways and all kinds of awesome community initiatives. Make sure you show him some love. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as always, take care, guys.